So I have to classify with this sense of attitudes. The flood may be high, flood may be medium, flood may be low. So these classification are generally, because you are taking all the bunch of data, input output सारी एक जगह पे. So you can ask me how you can classify, sir. The simple answer is, for classification in MATLAB, as your friend is doing, you have to classify randomly all 120 or 240 or 260 or 990, whatever the data is readily available. You have to classify without bhed, vibad, visambad, without keeping anything. Suppose 460 data are there, you categorize randomly 230, you categorize randomly 460 का 70%. ले लो randomly 30% ले लो for testing data, separate it out. Then what will happen exactly? After setting, you have to only these parameters, as I was telling, the parameters is that hidden layer, the learning rate, the momentum coefficient. All these three will help you to set the model, because you know the input. Are you getting me? For training set, you know the output for training set. So you are getting a model. And but one thing I want to give you a message: the model is being developed with historic data, past data. So the model, whatever you will expect, the prediction data, predicted values, whatever you will expect, that will be according to these models. Why the model will be accurate? You can put me a question. The model will be more accurate because the idea is very simple. You have considered a vast, very well-sized data, and which may be an average of some years of data. So always average is good, or the generalized data is good. Always the average is good, because that will give accordingly. So you are considering the average data and you are developing the model. So that's why the accuracy in case of, because what I am doing in MCDA I am doing only, so you can rather tell me, I am not going to tell you. In MCDA I am not generalizing all the data as a single platform. I have put my own rank. Nothing methodology is working there. The methodology is only coming from the researcher side. He put this one is number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Assimilate, approximate methods, approximate results is permissible, you can get it. But in artificial neural network, as the natural characteristics is being utilized, so you will get the better result, more accuracy as compared to MCDA. So that's why somewhere the supervised learning, only supervised learning, wherever you are going to utilize, the same problem you can also utilize for MCDA. Are you getting me? So MCDA and supervised learning, all are very competitive one, or all can be comparable one. So two methods along with GIS integrated, you can do, you can solve your problem, whatever the problem. So then comes what is unsupervised learning, right? Unsupervised learning means without a teacher. Without a teacher. So I am an unsupervised. Are you clear? Without a teacher, what you learn, and during that time, what you have to do is you can perform clustering. Clustering can be performed by several methods. You can put me a question. I am not showing. I am not copying it. I have worked here. I have worked in all the methods, and probably some few methods I have shown. I will give you the proof here by showing my some. It is SVM. One is called support vector machine. Another one is called PCA, that is principal component analysis, and another one is called K means. K means K nearest neighbor. KNN. There are several approximate methods. Where there are generally, what are the different types of data, you know broadly, because you are all are research holders or a research group, coming under research group, you should know specifically discrete. Another one is called continuous. Discrete matlab discontinuous, and continuous matlab continuous. So these two sets of data, whenever we will dealt with, we can run it both for supervised as well as unsupervised. But only one question is in my mind: by supervised learning you can predict, but by unsupervised learning you cannot predict. You can only classify, and that classify is nothing but that is called clustering. Are you getting me? Because this area I am very strong. That's why I am going in general from my approach. Other methods I do not believe. And nowadays you see first, second, third छोड़ के अभी मैं fourth में जा रहा हूँ. रोज मैं सीख रहा हूँ ना. I am running in fourth मतलब climate. I'm not telling that approach. It is your sense whether you will go for supervised learning or unsupervised learning. Suppose say when we will the एक अच्छा example मैं दे सकता हूँ. जैसे कि there are several types of animals are accumulated. Say let us take an example. You are electrical, civil, mechanical, computer science. Several people are getting together. So there I cannot go for model development. There what I can do? Classify, clustering. So that clustering I can do if it is possible. So that's why there are research maybe of 2 times, and that is only because I do not know what is the nature of data. So that's why I prefer unsupervised learning and more specifically clustering. Again, I am putting you a question. Though the data output is non-2, you can also go for supervised learning, but again for classification. So no confusion. Problem is you like. Once you know this thing, other things will automatically be the best in research. Say maybe civil engineer, maybe electrical engineer, maybe mechanical engineer, maybe computer science engineer, whatever the category of engineers may be, whatever I am utilizing, the same people are all doing like that, but with different problems. In water research, I am taking a problem. In geotech, somebody is taking another one problem. Experimental data खत्म करके भी वो जा रहा है modeling में, जा रहा है कि नहीं? Without integrated research, there will not be good publication, there will not be patent development, there will not be development of any project work, or you will not get the project. So these things are, so that's why integration or accumulation is necessary always. It may be a laboratory work also, it does not matter, but you have to come for all, ultimately you have to come for, so try to concentrate over this. Then now jamana abhi artificial neural network or machine learning में deep learning, and how can I simple learning, or rather I can say how I can distinguish between deep learning and this ordinary learning, or you can say which learning, ancestor learning. पुराना learning और ये deep learning का बीच में भाई difference क्या है हमको बताना है. Very simple answer is whenever I prefer simple learning or single learning or the ancestor learning, whatever I am telling, during that time I was not thinking about the multiple layer interaction. Whenever I will come for deep learning, there will be an interaction of multiple. What it meant exactly? Multiple layer interaction, it means at the morning I have forgotten to tell you, there also, some MCDA also, there also you will get, but in artificial neural particularly, multiple layer interaction means, suppose say, for happening of a plot, as a water researchman I can take you, for happening of a plot, sometimes runoff comes, stops here. It may not touch to the river point or to the final output point. So what will happen? Something is losing. So up to this you are getting node 1. Next, again after some hours it continues, come to something. Then again one development comes. That is N2. It means it may be continuous, it may be discontinuous, it may be discrete, but when you generate in a class, then you will get a model class or development of model which will briefly discuss about the deep learning. It means I want to give a message, if number of layers is multiple, then you can think about deep learning training. That is in one nutshell, which I want to just tell you like this. This one is what? In a similar manner you try to interpret, this is input, this is hidden layer. Okay, sorry, this one is hidden layer, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3 nodes. This is 1, 2, 3, 3 nodes in input, and this is output 2 nodes. It means here 2 outputs I am getting. So deep learning will talk during that time the ancient learning, I mean single layer learning. So that's why I can give you a message that here 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here what happens exactly? This is a type of multiple, means forward going, then forward going, then forward going, then forward going, but here 2 nodes are working. Too many. Layers is too many. So that's why deep learning in machine learning is nowadays a deep learning. Is it necessary to repeat once again? whatever I am doing, and here you try to understand. Training is the process of making the system able to learn. A system when able to learn, that part is called training. That process is called training. And training set and testing set come from same distribution. As I was telling, same distribution matlab one set of data at a time you are telling. Distribution is in erratic order. Matlab 1, 2, 3. 1 ka baad 6 nahi aayega. 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 30. Then 1, 2, after 30, 30 to 40, another 10 data. And in a similar manner, need to make some assumptions of or bias. What is bias? Bias is a factor. So what is that factor? That factor is supposed to be chosen by researchers, by workers. Are you clear? Don't say those who will work. And here I can say you, again you can put split into train, then you go for testing. Training will give you training model, testing will give you testing model. Once you get training data, testing data, then you validate it. How the validation will occur? Out of the on large, maybe more than 10%, then your validation will approximate. Means whatever the model you have developed, that is accurate. Percentage error should be less than 10%. Suitably, the efficiency should lie approximate to 100%, that is 1, and it should always be greater than 80%, and it should lie between 0.8 to 1. If it is holding good, then your testing model, validating model, training model in a conglomerate, incongruence. Perfect. Okay. So in that way, you try to think. So this I think probably get a scenario. What I understand, in MCDA you are having certain interest, but I do not, probably something is you are. Oh, light chala gaya. Then the algorithms. I have already discussed supervised, unsupervised, semi-supervised, and reinforcement. I have already discussed, but still then it is a well classification. It is called linear regression. Second one is called logistic regression. Third one is called random forest, but it is categorized under regression. Network, neural network it will be. It is also categorized under certain regression. So in any way, there are several other types of regressions are also there. There are several other types of regressions are also there, which I want to at least I should tell. Okay, serially let me go, otherwise I will be not good. ये हो गया supervised, unsupervised, reinforcement, classification, regression, clustering, and association. What is clustering and what is association? Let me tell. Clustering means classification. Okay, clustering and association you can perform in unsupervised learning, and clustering means here is a data. Suppose A category. How can you know it is A category? You are considering, suppose it is civil and mechanical. Entire 60 students are built for C coding application. There is a table in MATLAB. I will go for the entire one. I will give you for classifications. I have to give some parameters. For classifications, once basing upon certain criteria, I will put the today readily available everything. Programming also in the MATLAB. Once I put the fit, I fit the code. Then I will give some. This is this. Then automatically it will cluster. It will classify. C is this, D is this. Then association. Association matlab you are civil, you are mechanical. Civil A mechanical. Next mechanical, next civil. But this civil and that mechanical are correlated, or some relations are there. So put that one, some association group will be realized. Again, you can put me a question in the MATLAB or in the coding. You will get the same approach, same classification, same nodes you have to utilize for association. Commands are there. So once you put, that is depending upon that characteristics, what I was telling, descent gradient, back propagation gradient. All these things you have to put up and you have to find it out. So this is all about your algorithm functions, because once you understand the functions, it will be difficult at the beginning, but once you learn, I am a failure. I am a failure with respect to my PhD scholars. except me, ye guide you out from my at least a research interaction. Arey, what is labeled data set? Something is coming. What is labeled data set? Matlab, how a data set is called labeled and what is an unlabeled data set? Yes, yes, she is absolutely correct. The labeled data set is recognized. Are you clear? And classified. Recognized and classified. And that should be one where you already know the output. As I was telling, if I know input, if I know output, then the data set is labeled. If I know only input, I do not know the output, then the data set is what? Reverse one, unlabeled. That is I am telling always. So classification, regression you can perform, which I have already told. So nothing to be. Yes, different types of classification tasks in machine learning. What are the different types? Classification can be done by binary. Classification can be done by multi-class, multi-level, imbalanced. There are several classifications which in a single class it is not at all possible. It will take little more time, but I am just giving an idea. What is multi-class classification and what is multi-level classification? Multi-level and multi-class in machine learning model development. As you take an example, you know the images. You see, I have already given you a message. You can go for two types of data. One data is mathematical, matlab value based, low, medium, high, 1, 2, 3. Suppose you are giving a data set. Another one is you are getting from GIS, the pictorial data set. Both way I am working. The pictorial data set, you keep all the pictures at a single platform. Input, picture, output, picture. Concentrate with input and output. There are several platforms, several softwares. Once you run it, from a class of input output, you will get a model. But by synthetic classification or synthetic training process. So in both the way, in machine learning, I want to give a message that without training, no model can be developed. Okay, and more specifically in supervised learning. Unsupervised learning, only you can categorize. No model will be developed for prediction. Are you clear? So that's why we have to be little bit cautious when we will choose the problem, whether we will do it for any types of machine learning work or we can do it for certain specific machine learning work. That is interesting. Then imbalance classification or classification theory is not necessary. Then regression is, y is equal to mx plus c, etc. That I don't want to tell you something more. Then whatever I was telling that particularly what are the different types of regressions when you are interested. अगर आप regression में भी काम करोगे तो आपका PhD खत्म नहीं होगा. 2 पेपर चाहिए, आपका 6 पेपर भी छप दोगे तो रिग्रेशन में एक रिग्रेशन में 2 पेपर कर दिया तो 50 पेपर रिग्रेशन में ही छप जाएगा. इसलिए we are existing. नहीं तो काम खत्म हो जाएगा, हम क्या करेंगे? So that is the only problem you can deal with. You can put me a question, sir, somebody in researcher's minds, even if it is also in my mind, if this problem I will solve by linear regression, can it be accepted or not? Suddenly my answer is yes. Suddenly my answer is yes. But regression she is doing, you are doing, she is doing, he is doing, but regression in different ways. So that ways are established here. One is linear, another is logistic, another one is rich, another one is lasso, another one is polynomial, another one is Bayesian, and too many. One I am going to discuss so that you will get a knowledge. What is linear regression? I don't want to tell you because it is a most basic. It is most basic. That is, if you give x, you will get y. So that's why it is. I am not discussing, and that you know. Then the next one is logistic. By where logistic regression is utilized? It is a regression type analysis which gets used when dependent variable is, the condition is what? Discrete. Discrete. Matlab not continuous. Are you clear? So in that condition, what we are doing, not continuous means only monsoon flood occurs. So is it a continuous effect? Not at all. So flood happening is a coming under logistic regression. I am ready to put the logistic regression for flood issues, for earthquake issues, say in structural engineering, for something happen which is not a regular incident. For that I can ready to accept the logistic regression. And in logistic regression, always, as I was discussing morning, there are several functions I was discussing. Sigmoid, probably it is coming sigmoid. Sinusoidal curve, sigmoid curve. You will get a approach like this. Target value can have only two values. Bhai. How many values? Two values. You are a liar, I am telling. She is telling, no, no, she is not a liar. So I am wrong. Means true false statement if I can utilize, or if I can put a value 1 0, then you can come into picture that अच्छा इसका 4 बज गया तो हम छोड़ देंगे क्योंकि he is supposed to do whatever I am telling only just up to 4. Okay, you give me a signal if it is 4 and I will lift. Okay, anyway, at least these types of regression. So logistic regression you are getting, it will give a sigmoidal curve which I do not theoretical, I am not interested. Either you choose it as a 0 1 or true false. Then you come or ridge regression. By ridge regression is a very interesting regression. So what will happen exactly, as I was telling, whole to part or part to whole, which one will accept? Whole to part. And whenever we will accept no, both ways, I am telling my answer is yes, we can choose both. Survey people fail. In survey, whole to part working is there, but being a researcher, I am telling no, no, I am ready to accept both that. How it is? When I will go for OLS estimation, OLS estimation matlab optimize least square estimation. Okay, or we can say whenever we will go for, so how it is possible? When you will put the point values matlab, I am again coming to GIS. Point values matlab say this is a residential building. It is being located at a single point. My residence is at Palasuni. So there is another one point. So I am putting these 2 points and I want to interconnect. In between interpolation will come into picture. Are you clear? So this is one example I can say you, which in a better way you can estimate. So during that time, when you interact with the point nodes, that type of regression is called ridge regression. Okay? And whenever you will come into particularly, what is the basic difference? I want to say you, here it might be written, because everything I cannot remember. This is another one type of regression in machine learning which is usually used when there is high correlation between independent variables. So conditions set, you can read this slide. Okay, condition set. What are the conditions? When there is a high correlation between independent variables. High correlation. What is independent variable? What is dependent variable? Y depends upon X. So if only X, then it is Y depends upon X1, X2, X3, X4. So independent variables are X1, X2, X3, X4. If 4 parameters you are considering as input and there is a high correlation in between or among them, then you can choose ridge regression. Are you getting me the examples? Accordingly, you try to learn it. This is not only, you don't think that this is only applicable for water researches. This is faculty development program. Whenever I am going to stand in a platform, computer science people stand. Because I like, in that sense, that every engineer should listen to me. Because I am not telling that only for water researches. I am telling for geotech, I am telling for electrical IIT Kharagpur, Swain sir's son, he is also working with me. Do you know it or not? So interesting. I am a man of civil engineering and I am also interacting with electrical engineering people. So it happens sometimes. Because research is like that. I may not know electrical engineering, but I know that training, na? I know that technology. Na? So that's why I want to give a only one sensation. वो specific because he is my teacher's son. लेकिन मैं थोड़ी सारी electrical लोग का सब काम करूँ. वो certain specific कुछ का उसमें थोड़ा help Because research is that type of thing wherever somebody can, some other people can also, even if you people, if you learn, मैं बोल रहा हूँ, if you learn this क्या artificial neural network or say machine learning, you can help any kind of people, any types of civil engineers, any types of engineers. So it happens sometimes. This is opportunity. So OLS tends to higher variance for where OLS will be you can utilize it for coefficients corresponding to predictors with high variance, while ridge regression reduces the variance difference between, you see from picture it is very much clear. When ridge regression coefficient difference is very high, then you can utilize. When it will shrink, then you could utilize OLS. So this is the approach. Okay. So this way you can do it. Why I am telling? Because this has certain scope for research. Nobody is working in the ridge regression. Are you clear? That's why I am repeating. But everybody is working in that logistic and etc. So this is a new scope for researchers. Then also lasso regression. Lasso regression people are working, but still then there is an opportunity for scope. This is a regularizing along with feature selection, and it prohibits above the absolute size of regression coefficient. What is regression coefficient? It prohibits the absolute size of regression coefficient. 2.3. Is it absolute size? 2.5. Is it absolute size? Minus 2.3 minus 2.5. Is it absolute size? Absolute means what? The magnitude should be at approximate to a positive value, plus minus. Are you clear? So in that sense, you try to understand what is lasso regression. Now I am skipping. Polynomial, you know, if power is more than 1. Similarly, Bayesian, for Bayesian you have to utilize only a parameter, or is a factor, 0.1, 0.2, 0.02, 0.34, like that. I am skipping now. Equations will be like that. A flowchart of supervised machine learning model. This is as a whole completely. Then unsupervised मैं थोड़ा बोल देता हूँ. Then I will leave it. How much time is there? 10 minutes. Okay. Within 10 minutes, whatever is possible, that is I am going to tell you. देखो, risk assessment, image classification, fraud detection, visual recognition. All these are the works of imagerial peoples, and particularly computer science people worked in that line maximum as compared to civil people. But in unsupervised learning, as I was telling, in unsupervised learning, we have to think about on-level data and without any supervisor, without any trainer. So here what we will get is, generally we know the data, we know the pattern recognition, and we can respond it, but we do not know. Response can only be possible by classification or by clusterization. Whether the flood is high or low, but I do not know. After 20 years, at the same point, flood will occur or not. Prediction not possible. Only classification is possible, or that is called clustering is possible by unsupervised learning. So clustering and association, as I was telling, not only clustering plus association. Clustering क्या है मैंने बोल दिया. Then different types of clustering tasks in machine learning. Clustering is depending upon the magnitude of density, depending upon the magnitude of partitioning, depending upon the magnitude of distribution, depending upon the magnitude of hierarchical clustering, and depending upon fuzzy clustering. What is fuzzy classification? Same, low, medium, high. Flood low, flood medium, flood for if rainfall is this magnitude, if it flows up to this much distance, then there may be a low flood. If rainfall is this much, moves up to this distance, then there may be a medium flow. If condition rises, then you can go for fuzzy clustering, only classification, because we do not know the output. Whenever output is known, input output, you can go for supervised learning. Whenever input is only known, output is not known, you do not go for, you only go for classification or clustering or associating. So these all things in a nutshell I am telling. I think it is time, because 5 minutes or 10 minutes I should understand where from you have come. This is all okay. Let me keep it, because I feel that bouncing bouncing back to me. Okay, then it is all right. in any way, I am happy because I am at Bhubaneswar and I am enjoying Bhubaneswar. Okay, thank you. Ah, now it is time to interact, a personal interaction to understand you, where from you all are. Okay, you are from? मॉर्निंग सेशन में तो बहुत सारे थे ना, अभी चला गया क्या सब?